Welcome to Shadows of Arbor, an adventure set in a dark world where sword, sorcery, and science intertwine, and danger lurks in every shadow. You are a motley crew of criminals, opportunists, and down-on-their-luck individuals, embarking on a series of daring quests. Your path, determined by an enigmatic figure known only as the Arbiter, will lead you on a perilous journey to retrieve a collection of elusive items scattered throughout the city, returning them to those that lost them or those that desire them. Each member of your eclectic group possesses unique skills and secrets, and despite your differences, you are bound together by your shared desperation for a second chance. As you delve deeper into the heart of Arbor's seedy underbelly, you must navigate through treacherous alliances, rival factions, and ancient mysteries long buried beneath the city's layers. With each step, you inch closer to the truth behind the enigmatic Arbiter and the reasons behind these missions. But as the lines between allies and enemies blur, you must confront your own pasts, face the consequences of your choices, and decide the price you are willing to pay for one more day of life. Join us as we unravel the tapestry of Shadows of Arbor, where intrigue, danger, and magic converge, and where every twist and turn might lead you closer to your salvation or to your doom. Will you find the strength to survive the trials that await, or will the shadows claim you? Now, each of you have been given a letter from the Arbiters of Memory, requesting your presence and asking for help, and offering assistance that only they can provide. I'd like each of you, in turn, to describe where we find you at the start, and how you get to the fourth ring where the Arbiter is waiting. Whoever would like to go first.
Well, one of us would already be there, wouldn't we?
One of you would already be there. Would we like to start with Pupil?
You find it standing in the corner of the room that we will need to be in, not any other room, but just the room where it will next be required. It's been standing there for an unobserved length of time. In the same spot where in any other world you'd find a security camera. Just watching and waiting for nothing, but also anything. It is an artifact, a synthetic construct, humanoid, but it's wrapped in Hessian robes. They look like they'd be very uncomfortable to anything that had skin. And its head is bowed, but enough for its single eye to view the room. And even though the eye doesn't move in the center of the face, you could still get the feeling it's scanning from side to side, or twitching. And very occasionally a sort of shadow passes, or maybe the eye just flickers, the light inside it, and it doesn't move or breathe or do anything. Debatably, it's not even a person. It's a thing.
Very good.
I'm happy to go next.
Sure.
As long as I've remembered my geography correctly, I believe I'm already in the fourth ring.
You are, yeah.
Yes, cool, perfect.
So you're traveling through seedy underbellies and dangerous areas, but it's where the majority of the working force of Arbor comes from.
So, the journey, while the distance is relatively short, the journey is a long one. A reasonably young, like an adult, but like young in their adult life, hobbles through the street, grasping onto an elegant wooden cane, as he slowly shuffles through the streets. He's a beastkin, I believe is the official term. A green lizard with kind of yellowy, reddy eyes. He's got quite a reasonably ornate-looking turquoise kind of jacket. The journey tires him, and as he steps into the room, he kind of dries himself off and pauses to catch his breath, as he then looks around.
So you find yourself in a old, very decrepit, very like kind of worn down Victorian era library. That is where you were told to go. It's called the library as well, which is really strange. And a library in the Fourth Ring is a really strange thing in of itself. The fact that it hasn't been burned down or turned into living quarters, or even that, just filled up with people, is a surprise. There's no one else here, as far as you can tell.
Cool.
But you make your way inside.
With the apparent absence of everyone, he will generally have a little flick through the books.
Sit down on a pile of books that's been made into a chair and.
If you'll allow it, an investigation roll of 16, looking specifically to see if there are any titles around alchemy jump out to him.
You look around and you see a number of books on alchemical theories and different papers, like published papers in like a group of books, like a published paper. But these are old. These are way out of date. The stuff in them is hogwash. It would be the equivalent of looking at the humors from our perspective back to theirs. It's the same kind of concepts. Like it's talking about like old methods for creating the Philosopher's Stones that most people have debunked and said no, these do not work. These are not reality.
Is this the same room that I'm in?
Yeah.
What's your passive perception?
13.
Cool. 22 on stealth, I think.
Yeah. There's a pile of things in the room. It's just full
22
of
on
stuff.
stealth.
There may be other things in here, and you think that somebody's supposed to meet you in this room. You don't know. You don't see anyone yet.
Yeah.
But
in lieu of anyone else, I will begin flicking through the books that I discovered.
So
we find ourselves in a very busy inn tavern, but at the back of the room there are two figures in very quiet discussion. There is a really fat, sweaty man just looks like telling a very sad tale to someone who is hooded. Just you see it nod every so often, and when the man finishes his tale, the big figure slams his hand on his back in a friendly but domineering way, reaches into his pocket and slides a little token across the table. And then you see the man just going, thank you, and then wanders out. And then, realising the time, this figure gets up and walks out the door and heads to wherever this is.
to arrive at the library, at some point you would have crossed paths with this person. Oh, this is the person who had delivered your letter. And that would have been true of you as well. They only addressed themselves as messenger and said very little and handed you the letter.
Or should I be looking this
Yeah.
Thank you.
arrive at the library. It's not an area you usually frequent. You don't go out to the fourth ring all that often. It's a bit dangerous. But you do kind of live on the edges there. So
I imagine I will set up shop every so often in an inn or a tavern in this area and deal with the people here.
Yep. You make your way in. You see the lizard man.
Yeah.
Sitting on the books. For you, a person, beasts can run the gamut of anthropomorphic animals. Most of them, the passable ones, have traces and hints of their bestial lineage. A few scales here and there, maybe some horns. For one to be fully lizard-like, like this, is a rare sight. So it is a kind of unusual, but even your appearance as a goblinoid is because you're blue, you're very big, you have certain features that give you, you're also quite of a rarity in the world. And you approach and come together.
Hello.
Well, he will slowly kind of hobble up and stand. Hello.
Who are you?
Oh, Victor.
Ah, Raylan.
Are you who I'm meeting?
No, I've been summoned here as well.
Ah. Also with a mysterious letter.
I mean, it's an invitation. It's exciting.
But it also holds intrigue.
Well, maybe your letter did. I don't know. I can't say that about mine. It's just a standard invitation.
But did they explain what it was that they wanted?
Use of my services, I'm sure.
Then intrigue, my boy. Intrigue.
I suppose. Oh, what's your speciality? Why do they pick you?
I am an alchemist of, yes, I would say, passable skill.
Ah.
Yes, I heal the sick and injured. Yes, or I certainly try. Yourself, what are your skills?
Well, I possess a number of magical artifacts bestowed upon me by my family. Useful for all manner of things. I can handle myself in a fight. I know people around this area. All sorts of people.
A wealthy family, then,
No, heirlooms.
From the people's perspective, while is it Victor?
Yeah, Victor
was scrolling through, the eye was just completely focused, unmoving on, and as soon as, is it Raylan? Moved in, the head just moved round, whether or not you see that, and is now all focused on the new thing in the room.
Do I see it? Are you actively stealthing?
I am Whether I actively do anything is a really good question. But what's your roll perception?
That would be a 24.
24?
Yeah.
Okay, then yes, you do see me.
But do you...
You would recognize it as an artifact. They are in the circles you run in sometimes. You would have seen one or two of them because your reach is quite broad, or your master would have seen one or two because of the circles you run in.
What of our friend here?
friend. There is a
Point him out.
I don't look away yet.
Hi.
Hi.
Offers a hand. How's it going? Oh, I'm sure we'll be good friends, don't you worry. And I'll find a seat somewhere else in the room.
What? So out of character. What am I looking at this point?
So it's like a ceramic, metal and wood robot, basically. It has one like Cyclops eye with a red light in it in the middle, but it is covered in hoods and scarves and wraps.
You would have more intimate knowledge of what he is. He is a golem, but slightly more advanced. The instructions they can take are more complex, depending on your personal views as to whether or not you decide they are a person or not. Official stance is they are not a person.
But do most have a personality, even if they are not?
They have Do you know how ChatGPT sometimes seems to have a personality? Kind of like that. It's not quite right. For most of them. for the regular ones.
Joe's playing Chat GPT, huh?
Within, again, if I can, an investigation roll of 14. What's the level of craftsmanship here?
Oh, exquisite.
Oh,
But a bit dinged up.
Aren't you a beauty? Do you have a name?
It does not have a name.
I see. Will you be joining us, or are you just an observer here in this?
Correct. It is an observer.
I see.
That is an artifact. That is the closest approximation I can have for a actual what they are supposed to look like. He doesn't look quite like that. He has.
I'm a custom job, baby.
So, how many of us are currently in this library?
Give
Can
me
I?
a perception check.
12.
3. Well, you include. I guess you don't include yourself. 2.
Information. 2. Yourself and this gentleman. Gentleman, is that right?
Yeah.
Your name is Raylan.
That's me. And you?
It has no designation.
Would you like a designation?
Information. It does not like anything.
But if I was to require attention, what would I say?
Observer.
Observer?
You said you were an observer, yes?
It is an observer.
Well, if it is an observer, then to whom am I talking now?
You talk to no one. It is a pupil.
Oh, I like that. A dual meaning, I think. you jest. Yes. Very good.
Query. You appear to have sustained damage to your lower limbs. Did it hurt?
More than you can imagine.
Tell me, how did it hurt?
Perhaps not a introductory conversation.
And that's when we move to the final member of our party.
So, if you'll permit me, we'll start the scene on the smoking ruins of a former house or hovel or something. Even in the rain, it is still sizzling as the water hits the husk. And there's a throng of people who have just made bucket chains and whatnot to try and keep it under control, stop from spreading to the nearby other buildings. And then at the back of the crowd, there is a single figure wearing what looks like the uniform of the Red Union, the Firefighters Guild, but it's the wrong colour. This is completely black. If you look closer, you could see that it might once have been red, but has been scorched to the colour of charcoal. And this figure, with all its features completely concealed, hood up, mask on, just turns and walks away. Travels through the twigs until it reaches the library. The audible sound of its gas mask echoing through the corridors as it enters, walks into the room. Hello.
Information. Status update. 3.
Thank you, pupil. Yes. Hello. Have you also got a letter, or are you...
Holds up letter.
Ah.
Take it you're not the ones that sent it then.
No, we're still trying to figure that out.
We have no confirmation that he didn't send the letter. He hasn't revealed one yet.
It did not send a letter.
Ah, see?
Did you receive a letter? Question for another time.
Pin in that for now.
Yes, I'm Victor, and he'll kind of hobble over and reach out his hand.
This figure, which, because the Red Union gear is supposed to be fireproof, it's leaving this figure kind of androgynous,
Yeah.
so you can't really make out any features at the moment. He just stands there with his arms crossed, just ignoring your outstretched hand.
Yeah. He'll hold it for about 3 seconds and then slowly retract. Well, yes. Do you have a name?
I do.
Oh Lord, this is going to be a long day. It's customary. What is your name, good sir, ma'am?
Private.
Private.
Private pupil, Raylan.
Victor.
Victor, yes.
In my nighttime ministrations of the city, could I roll to see if I have heard of any such figure?
Of them?
Yeah. Considering the kind of things that my extracurriculars involve.
Sure.
15.
I've got a rumour.
Ooh. Sure.
So they are. There is tell amongst the people of the Twigs of a figure that some refer to as the Black Union. Some claim that it is setting fires, some that it's controlling them, some that it's rescuing from them. There's no one right answer to these rumours. There's no one common truth to them.
Query. The Black Union. I have observed fear that they have created. Would that be yourself?
This is a bit awkward, isn't it?
Yes.
Charisma 4, baby!
And then from the darkness behind, a desk made out of an old door and piles and stacks of books. Yes, it is a bit awkward, isn't it? I suppose I should stop this now. You see...
Information. Status update. 4.
Well, we'll wait on that. You see a man dressed in a sleek black and white suit, his hat pulled low down over his eyes, and the room seems to have become more dimly lit than it was a second ago. The gas lamps that are in this area are flickering and casting eerie shadows on the wall. And behind him is a woman. So,
Information.
this is the Arbiter.
By the way, the people won't stop doing that until someone tells it to.
I'm loving this.
Yeah.
And this is the woman behind him. She's standing just behind him.
Good evening, Marta.
At the appearance of these two causing a slight distraction from my character being the centre of attention, my character will slump down in the nearest chair, exhausted, almost exhausted.
I think Monitor is the person I had the most interaction with.
Yes.
In
I was
the
going to say,
lockup
do you
and
refer to
everything.
her specifically by her name? As in you...
You get the sense that I have received instruction
Right.
to
To do
greet
so.
this person
Right.
in that way.
Yeah. She just nods to you. Doesn't say anything yet. Now, we send you out some letters so that you could all come together to perform a little job for us. And in those letters, we promise certain boons in order for you to acquiesce to our request. But we're hoping that the initial outgoing will entice you to do more, as they can be quite lucrative, and all of you are in need of funds for various reasons and services that you... Well, everyone needs to live in Arbor, and money is the way you keep living. Looks at you, pupil.
Yeah.
And your property.
It is not property. It is an observer. It is a pupil.
In that case, pupil, you will observe these 3 individuals as they will do interesting and unique things within the city.
It has been commanded to assist.
Monder, can you get the, and she pulls out that dossier, the black envelope.
Who is it handed to?
It's put into the table in the middle of you. So you may choose which one of you decides to open it. Monitor is a beautiful woman in her 30s with dark black hair and eyes that seem to track every single person in the room. Given your passive perceptions, who's got the highest?
I think it's a joint
be
between myself.
So Monica and Relin, there's another person in this room that pupil hasn't spotted or made notice of. They have bright white hair, but they are doing everything in their power to be as invisible as possible. But you just about spotted her. And that's her. And she wears a mask over her face. Not like yours, but it's more like a surgical mask.
Have they always been in this room, or did they come in when the other two came in?
You don't remember Monitor Secret
Oh.
or
Yeah, so, force of habit, sorry. Yeah.
you don't remember any of them actually coming into the room. The first notification you had was him speaking and Pupil then announcing that there were more people in here. So how they got in here is...
Okay, so to clarify, did I notice her before the other two were in the room? Or did we...
They seem to all arrive at the
same time.
Same instance, yeah.
Okay.
But this last one, Pupil has not accounted for giving us an update.
Correct.
The pupil will not go to open the envelope, but will position themselves
So they can see it.
directly behind the person who does.
Sure.
So, do you immediately grab
Or like
for it?
over the
I put my
shoulder.
hand on it and see who else is like...
My character doesn't even make a move towards
Monitor's
it.
like looking at you as you kind of like, you do need to open it, Diaz, before I can carry this on. So please be about it.
I mean, you already know this. Tinge, right?
Well, I know what's in it, yes, but I need you to know what's in it so that we can carry
Well,
on.
normally you would tell us. Why
There's a lot of information there, and I don't remember it's all verbatim.
At this point, I think you hear a whirring and a clicking from within the pupil. Some kind of mechanism has been set in motion, but you're not quite sure what. I'm beginning to ritual cast Detect Magic.
So you are positioned so you can see this?
Yes.
So I'm like, excuse me?
I would prefer if you allow the artifacts to observe things. It is useful.
I have
for
been
them to
commanded to
notice.
assist.
Of course. And I will just rotate ever so slightly. So you have to move.
Oh yeah, so I will, and I move like a spider. Not fast, but just in the fluidity of the movement.
Just casually flicking through. I'm not saying anything. Just going.
Yeah. Are you stood up while reading it? Or
I guess since you can see it,
There are more things in there than just those.
I haven't sat down yet. No.
Okay.
Those papers. There are some other bits and pieces in there as well. Photographs and things as well. You'll need to look at the photographs as well. They will help you understand what is occurring. To give you a brief overview, we want you to retrieve an object known as the Amber Lion. The information is contained in the dossier, but to cut things short and to keep things moving quickly, which time is not of the essence because we know where it is. The problem is that the exact location is difficult. Are you, any of you, aware of a location called the Walls?
Are we?
You can make a history check, or an intelligence check.
20 for history.
Nat Nat 20.
Cool.
Total of 23.
21.
16.
It's still enough. So all of you know about the walls. Basically, the walls between the first and second rings.
Good dice.
There was a need for extra housing of a certain class, essentially. And they went, well, we need to put some housing somewhere. Ooh, the walls between, they were built old, they were built big.
So
you
they
can
were
hollow them
mined
out.
into.
They were mined into and created apartments. Hundreds and hundreds of apartments. And within those walls, which goes on, like, yes. The walls, yes. The apartments inside of them. One of them is where Alice Cooper and her brother George Cooper, her brother George Cooper were living at the time, and we believe that they had the Amber Lion. Unfortunately, we don't know the specific apartment they were living in. We just need somebody to find out where they are. Now, we do have, luckily for you, 2 leads on potential locations. Let's be honest here. 2 groups claim to know where she lives in specificity. Because of that, it makes it nice and easy. But like many things in Arbor, nothing is free. And they will want you to do something for them.
These are the 2 clients,
Yes, Alice Cooper.
and they are both alive.
They are both alive as far as we know, that we have lost track of both.
That's that out of character question rather than in. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. I believe it does say in the dossier.
Yeah.
Somewhere. It has been a long time since I've wrote that.
My character's not seen any of this yet.
Fair.
Okay.
Alright, if anyone wants to roll a bit of insight. If you're happy for me to call them.
11. 22.
Okay, my character is not moving from the chair, and not because they're not interested, but because they need a bit of a sit down now.
That's fair.
Do you require assistance?
No.
Can I quickly check the papers?
Yeah. What exactly are the Coopers under arrest for?
Well, George Cooper's under arrest, specifically.
Yeah.
Based on our information, they believe him to be the Johnny Killer.
The Johnny Killer.
You've not heard?
Ah.
I have a newspaper here, so give me a second. Let me see if I can dig it out. Hold on a moment. Oh, she's digging through papers and trying to find things. Yes, here it is.
Damn, dude.
When you like put down the papers and you're done looking at them, move on to the figure in black is just going to say, artifacts.
Yes.
Bring me those.
Yes. And yeah, we'll bring them over and sort of offer them like this.
Yeah. It's been in all papers. It's quite gruesome murder. I'm surprised you didn't at least have some purview of it. It was quite. It's sold many papers. I'm quite
Information.
happy.
Many people in the Twigs are afraid of this individual.
Oh, many people everywhere are afraid of this individual. Mostly men, to be fair.
Information. I know not know of the fear of that people outside of the Twigs.
Well,
In what way are the Coopers clients?
They are the rightful owners of the Amber Line. Well, Alice is, we think. We're not sure. Alice or George.
So, if I'm thinking this correctly, out of character, one of those people approached the Arbiter's Memory before Alice went missing and George was arrested, but it is still an open case for us. If you want me to ask that in character.
Yeah, you can ask that
Yeah.
character.
Query. The two clients, which one of them approached the Arbiters of Memory?
Oh, and then Arbiter will answer this. Oh, that's not strictly how we work. We more, see, Memoria are complicated constructs that require a very particular set of skills in order to stop them causing trouble.
Is Arbiter the one with the white hair who I couldn't see previously?
No, that's
Okay.
secret. Secret.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense, yeah.
The Arbiter's kind of the top hat.
Top hat and the white, yeah.
Like I'm dressed,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, no, good night.
And he goes, returning the Memoria to its rightful owner will sometimes, we hope, stop them from being Memoria, and they will go inert. That is the hope, anyways. Now, it's a question of whether or not you return them to their original owner or the one they desire. Memoria have a kind of, they're not alive particularly, but they are a complicated magical artifact, and we've taken it upon ourselves by certain interested parties have given us funds in order to make this occur, in order to secure the safety of everyone involved. Do you understand?
How confident are... Well, observer pupil. Have you observed this Cooper committing the murders? Is that what
Information. I have observed only the fear they have created.
I see.
Unless I roll real high on them. No, I won't have seen the actual guy, no.
Yeah.
He doesn't operate in the twigs, anyways.
Could you
Most of
possibly
his
photos, Joe?
most of his
Actually,
murders-
most-
most
People in the twigs are afraid of him.
they are afraid of him. That is true. But
And that's the important bit.
that's kind of the thing that's like people were afraid of Jack the Ripper, regardless of who they were.
Yeah, it wasn't people in Whitechapel, it was people in every part of London. Yeah.
So I just see the other headline on this paper.
It's been so long, I genuinely don't know what it is.
Chief Inspector murdered.
Oh yes, that's yeah.
Yeah.
That happened.
Yeah.
Was that the one shot I missed?
Yeah,
Neat. Neat.
that's canon.
We did a thing. We did a bad thing.
You did do a bad thing,
And we did it badly.
and you made me come up with a new word called spirituation. Spirituation.
Yeah. I remember you saying when we first put it up there.
You pulled someone's soul out of them.
Yeah.
Guys, what did you do?
You just said it.
Yeah.
yeah, but I need gonna need context.
Yeah.
And I also will need context. No.
With the Bronzean crimes.
So, Monitor will go, my dear secret, she has acquired that, as I said, there are two individuals who have the information you need in order to pursue your investigation a little further. Now, you could, if you choose to do so, ignore both of them and decide to search every single apartment within the walls. Now, most of you seem to have given me the head nod that you understood what the walls are. You will be at that for weeks. And I don't think any of you want that kind of time, or have that kind of time, or physicality. And she kind of looks at the two people that are struggling to be alive.
This one and this one.
No.
This one and this one and this one?
Yeah. You're not struggling to be alive. You've chosen not to be.
Chosen is a big word.
That's true. So
Yeah.
So, I will also say, and she'll continue, you may choose to do both tasks for either of them, or none of them, or you can do all the tasks for all of them, because in the end of the days, it is useful to have a favor owed, even if you don't get anything out of it. Sometimes it might make things a little better down the line. Mechanically, doing favors for these people
Gets you favors.
Gets you favors. Will move your status up, which I have a little bar down here.
Quick query.
Mm-hmm.
Not a query. A quick question.
Yep.
Did Monitor, when she was speaking, gesture to Secret as you did?
She did, and then you would have
Status, update, information. Yeah, and then go
Yeah. And when that happens, when you move to that status update, you see Secret kind of flinch a little bit, like as if she doesn't really want to be observed, and acknowledged is the big thing. And she kind of like goes behind and kind of hides behind Secret.
I think at that moment then, specifically with the dislike of being observed, the pupil will almost fixate on Secret. And it probably has happened before.
Yeah, it probably has happened.
And the more uncomfortable they get, the more...
You will all observe Secret kind of pull on Monitor's shoulder to kind of like so that she can face her, and then she will begin signing. And then Monitor will go, I know. It's on. You need to slow down. I can't. All right, yes. We're going to go soon. It'll be fine. Don't worry. And then Secret kind of like calms down. Right.
What does Secret look like?
She has like long white hair and a kind of a mask over her face, like a complete, like kind of like pseudo mechanical. It's got like gears and twig and bits and pieces, and it's got like little pipes that kind of like go around her back and go down her, go around her neck and down her back. But she's quite piercing eyes as well.
Does it look like the face appendage type thing is medically sustaining her?
There does seem to be some movement of chemicals in the pipes themselves. There seems to be some kind of liquid going through. So you can make a medicine check to see what it is.
Please. Oh dear, that's a 6.
You are not sure. It could be medicinal or it could be recreational. You're not 100% sure.
I think you two, looking at the difference in the ways that we are looking, you're seeing that Victor is like looking and understanding and seeing, whereas the pupil just appears to be looking rather than seeing and understanding. Just sort of taking in rather than processing.
Gotcha. Cool, thank you.
Mike, show Rich.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen some.
You've seen Secret.
I've seen Secret.
No, sorry,
you
Joe.
two, yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
hasn't.
Lovely. Thank you.
Sorry, I forgot which one it is.
That's right.
Well, so just so that I understand. So it's not Alice who's the other one.
Alice and George Cooper.
So George is currently held by the Green Cloaks,
As far as we know, yes.
and Alice's whereabouts is unknown.
We do not know.
So presumably our first stop should be to the Green Cloaks.
See, there's the other problem. We don't know which precinct has him. And the Green Cloaks aren't exactly forthcoming with that information. However, one of the groups that is offering the information of where Alice Cooper lives is the Green Cloaks. So they may know this particular Green Cloak might be operating under their own volition, though, so I'm not sure. But it could give you some information, if nothing else.
Out of character question, the Green Cloaks, because the Johnny Killer presumably is quite a famous serial killer
Yes.
stage. So would they not operate in a similar way to modern police forces or any police force, where they'd want to advertise the fact that they'd caught him, or have they kept it on the down low?
So they have kept it on the down low because of the Cooper name.
Oh.
And the Cooper name is illustrious in some way.
Is illustrious enough that they're like, we have to make sure that we've got.
We have to be
the right
really
number.
sure we don't want to
Right.
go off half-cocked on this one.
Okay, cool. Okay.
If it had been just a normal schmo, and even then, it might be that they just picked up this guy because they're like, fuck it, we'll just get this guy because we need somebody. We need to be seen like we're doing something. You're not sure, and that's like free information.
If we were sure, if they were sure of it, we'd know.
Yeah. Okay.
Everyone would know. All of a sudden, there'd be papers everywhere. Well,
Which is the Green Cloak that's offering the potential whereabouts?
a woman by the name of Nora.
Nora. Okay. And which precinct is she located at?
They will send a constable to meet you outside the Abyss pub in the second ring if you're keen.
Okay.
For the other client, the Iron Dogs are looking for somebody to do 2 different jobs for them. I imagine if you complete both of those jobs for them, they would be quite pleased. And the Iron Dogs are not without their reach, though they are not, how should we say, on the level. So, do with that information what you. But they are mostly the good people. They want to be met at the kennel, their place of business.
And which ring is?
They're in the 4th ring.
Maybe yes. Would I have heard of the kennel?
Oh, the Iron Dogs, yes.
Yeah.
You would have heard the Iron Dogs. The Iron Dogs are kind of a. They exist in antithesis to the Iron Hands. They are all. Some of them are former members of the Iron Hands. Some of them are kind of. People that are upset and tired of being abused and kind of exploited by the foundry workers, which are the Iron Hands, and they exist they're kind of like a terrorist organization in some ways. They explicitly target them. So if you do a job for them, you will probably be working against the Iron Hands and stuff. So there is a trade-off.
You'd also know that I was made by the Iron, or that it was made by the Iron Hands.
Yes, so all artifacts are made by the Iron Hands. The secret for their creation is their purview alone.
Gotcha.
You can meet all of them, and then the Arbiter will step in before Monitor gets any further. I should understand how these things will work. You will find the item. When you find it, you will receive a summons from us in terms of further instruction on what to do with it. At that point, you will need to decide what to do with the item. That can be to return it to either of the clients, or it can be to keep it yourself if you wish to do so. It's kind of up to you at this point. Our job is mostly to make sure that the items no longer pose a threat to the city at large. The Amber Lion itself is, we believe it is dangerous, though we do not know its specific powers. A chunk of Great Tree Amber that large is a powerful magical item.
Which were the 2 factions? So you had was it the Iron Dogs you were asking?
The Iron Dogs are asking for help,
Um,
and the Green Cloaks are asking for help.
but are they also the same ones that are asking for the Amber Lion?
No, the Amber Lion is only being asked for by Alice and George Cooper. Effectively own it,
Yeah.
and if you return it to them, it's possible they will stop the Memoria portion of it will stop
It'll stop
functioning.
manifesting.
Yeah.
Oh, so when they say the 2 clients, it's the Coopers.
Yeah, it's Alice and George Cooper.
Sorry, it's not the Cooper is one faction and then there's a
Yeah.
second.
The Coopers are the rightful owners. There are also 2 factions who...
Happen to know where Alice lives.
Yeah.
They're not necessarily after the Amber Lion themselves.
Yeah.
You don't care about these clients, right? So
You talking to the Arbiter?
yes.
Personally, no. I only care that the Memorias stop being Memorias so that they stop hurting people.
But if, as you say, we choose to keep this thing, there's going to be
If
a little file on record with our names as clients.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, you're employees of the. Currently, you'll be employees of the Arbiters of Memory. If you choose
Information
to.
incorrect. I am not an employee of the Arbiters of Memory.
You are the Artifacts is a. Trying to word this correctly so it comes out in a positive way. The Artifacts is a.
It is property owned by the Arbiters.
That is correct.
Is it for sale?
It is not for sale.
So you're not property then?
It is property.
All properties for sale.
Not that one. You couldn't pay the cost.
Oh, you!
Could you buy yourself? Question for another time.
Could I call for Victor to roll insight
Yeah.
based on successive things?
12.
I think you can still get it on that. Like the common theme you seem to find developing is that anything where you talk about you, what is your name, could you by yourself, is
it
not.
doesn't respond.
It's
yeah.
not processing that.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. So, yes. So the Coopers are the rightful owners, but they have lost possession. Have they provided any details on how they lost this possession?
We presume that it occurred when George Cooper was arrested and Alice went missing. We believe it's still in their apartment. Unfortunately, they don't have access to their apartment. At least that's our last assumption.
Query. Did Miss Alice Cooper have the line in her possession when she went missing?
We don't believe so, no. Though we can't verify that without going to her apartment. But we know it was active.
Active in what? But it gives off an aura, or it does something?
She will go. We believe it is an Order 4 Memoria. And you wouldn't make an Arcana check, everyone.
Would I make this with advantage?
Yeah.
8.
14.
I rolled a 3. I'm not even that.
Oh, okay.
Add my modifier to.
Wow. I got what do you get, Mike? 8?
8 total.
Okay, yeah. I got 7.
I mean, you all do have inspiration, so I mean, if you want to use it.
I ain't used that for this.
Okay, so 14. With 14, you know what the Ordos mean. They are a classification system for the Memorias, and as you go from 1, 2, 3, and 4, they get more dangerous. A 4, no, it's famous enough. 100 years ago, almost. No, wait, 50 years ago. Sorry, 50 years ago. I have to do my own timeline. There was the only Ordo 4 ever recorded, which is the loss of number 4. It was a train.
Yeah.
That pulled other people in as they happened to be standing next to it, and then they died in a fiery explosion. We believe it is an Order 4 Memoria, and we believe it will be very dangerous if it's left to its own devices. So we would like it to not be.
Yeah.
I think passively the pupil will cast Thaumaturgy, having encountered at one point someone who was a witness 50 years ago to that Ordo 4, and just for a second you hear like guttural screaming, but very quiet, like the volume's turned down, just emitting from the vicinity of the artifacts.
Do you hear that?
The black figure has stood up out of the chair and is casting about looking for the screams until realising that they're coming from...
I wouldn't worry about that.
No.
It does that sometimes.
It's in the backstory and everything.
If you want to roll another insight, I could give you a little bit of a motivation behind standing up.
9.
I'm more interested. Conversation for another time, perhaps. Well, if time really is against us, all of us for once, should we go to the closest location, the Iron Dogs? I assume.
You can go to the Iron Dogs first. I will let Mad Molly know that you're coming.
Oh, good day. Yeah.
Query, who is Mad Molly?
Mad Molly is one of the... she's one of the lieutenants for the Iron Dogs. She will meet you outside the kennel.
Query, what is the allegiance of Mad Molly to the Arbiters?
None, currently. They are looking for work. They are looking for somebody to complete a job for them, that is all. And then the Arbiter will... Now, I understand that you are coming at us with... You are new hires, and you don't necessarily understand how things work. I am the Arbiter, I'm your boss. I will handle things like money and making sure that you won't get paid at the end of this. Monitor is your handler in the field. If you need something done, need something acquired, she is who you will speak to. If you need information, you will need to speak to Secret. And then Secret will just poke her head out just briefly and then just shy back away. She really does not like you.
And for good reason. No one should.
With that,
How much are we getting paid?
2,000 leaves at the end of this each.
Oh.
That's a huge
That's a
amount.
lot, yeah.
That's a huge amount.
That's
Would
years
that-
and years of salary.
Yeah.
Would that cover, say, an uncommon magic item?
Yes, depending on the
Depends on the item, I guess.
does
Yeah.
a little bit, but yeah. And you might balk a bit at that kind of, because there was never a mention of how much you were getting paid, and then all of a sudden it's like, and it didn't even bat an eyelid. Just went, yeah, here you go. Whatever money this actually make an insight check. Let's make it fun. Let's make it roll.
Ooh,
Nice.
20.
Oh,
Not natural.
natural 20.
Ooh, baby.
17.
Okay, so the three of you who have more kind of like an understanding, somehow you have an understanding of money. Well, whatever we go with this.
Oh, I understand that
Purely
mathematical. Money can be exchanged for goods and services.
Yeah, yeah.
Well,
That's
that,
the kind of.
that and money can be a huge source of fear.
Now you get it.
Yeah. So
That's out of character at this stage.
the blasé attitude with he dropped that kind of money in the location you're in specifically indicates that wherever the source of money he has, it's far beyond the twigs and might be somewhere in the canopy or like kind of in the very, very richest part of it. So somebody really wants these things dealt with and
It's like
quiet.
deniability is the reason it's sourced out here.
Yeah, yeah. And these things are exceedingly dangerous. Enough to where it's like, even them just existing, it's like, oh, what's the matter? It's in twigs. It's like, yeah, it matters.
Well, I mean, if an entire city's made of wood, something can explode. Burn everything down, that's hugely problematic.
Yeah, wouldn't want that to happen.
No.
So
Well, yes,
you
well,
can make your way there. It should be short little jaunt, if that's fine by you.
Query, would you like me to prepare a lunch?
Monitor will interject. I would get something out.
Hey, I am a trained butler. I make the daintiest fucking sandwiches you'll ever seen.
But
Okay, I think my character is going to say,
But occasionally there's something that's not a sandwich in there.
I really don't think there is.
Okay.
It's not trying to create fear, it just wants to see it.
Oh, okay.
Like-
It's not-
I
it's
think
not
my
jumped
character
at.
is going to say, yes.
I think then, the people will disappear to the
With
kitchen.
no intention of eating it.
Okay.
Yeah. The people will disappear to the kitchen for maybe 5 minutes with like robot chef proficiency and come back with, although the ingredients might be twig ingredients, the preparation is immaculate.
Getting to Nan Molly's won't take you very long. A couple of hours at best. If you're walking through the city. If you decide to take a taxi, you can do, but that will cost you. But the taxi's down here. So I should say, to give you an indication of how to travel within Arbor. There are multiple methods of travel within Arbor. The ones that you can avail yourself of are walking. Walking is always free. Walking through the twigs might be dangerous. Walking in generally in Arbor, you might encounter something. There might be random encounters, just so you're aware. You can take not in the fourth rings, but in the third, second, and first rings, you can take a ferry. Basically, you can take a gondolier. There are canals within Arbor that are difficult to see on the maps because they're just small, but some of them do exist, and they might not always drop you off right in front. Finally, you can take a checkers tab. Taxi cab is most expensive, but it will get you there, and they ask no questions at all. Just think like if you've ever played Cyberpunk 2077, the
What, sorry?
the Cyberpunk 2077,
Oh, yeah.
the
Delamain.
Delamains. Basically, there are taxi cabs that effectively are like, you buy them, you run it through them. They tell no one anything about what happened within the taxi cab.
That's
where it went,
a
where it went
feature,
to.
not a bug of
That,
the.
yeah, that is
yeah, the
deliberate.
service.
It's like, yeah, so they are very specifically like, you go here, you come back, we're good. And they cost different things depending. Traveling Arbor, and I will share this. In case you ever want to look at the whole thing, because it has like rates of travel and all this kind of stuff, all kinds of stuff. You can take the steam train depending on where you're trying to get to, because it runs on the rings of Arbor, and that's where the trains run currently. You can also buy a private car, though that is well outside of your price ranges right now, and then it gives you all like the costs and everything less.
Dirigibles.
Yeah, those are well.
Let's get a blimp.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm just popping to the shops in the blimp. Anyone want me?
Watch out for Stuybergs.
Yeah.
You can just walk.
Yeah.
Is it possible to get a small stipend before we leave?
Not on your first job. We don't. Let's be honest here. The kind of people we have to employ in this, like, gesture sort of location they're in, we need to develop a certain amount of trust. Maybe next mission. Sure.
I guess we are walking.
When the people returns, they have pulled their hood up lower over their face. They're holding like a wooden staff with like it's got what look like little white beads on the handle, on like the wrap, and produces like paper bag sack lunches and offers you one.
I'll take it.
Yeah, take it.
Query, pupil. What's in it?
Information: rye bread, cheese, ham, condiment.
Query, pupil. Type of condiment?
A combination of pickles, brown sugar, and vinegar.
Okay, and then he will take it.
My little guy.
Oh yeah.
If you're curious as to what people looks like.
Are you walking?
Yeah.
Cool.
As we leave the building and start walking, I'll whistle and a raven will come down from a branch up high.
Does it speak?
It doesn't at the moment.
Cool. Just lands on your shoulder, looks around, looks at pupil, gives this kind of like, the fuck is that?
Query: what is this creature?
Friend? Do you have a database of animals? Do you not? Telling me you don't know species?
The thing is, I started ritual casting detect magic over 10 minutes ago.
You did. So when that completed, you would have detected Arbiter, Secret, and Monitor are all... They're not magic specifically. They're wearing magic
Yeah,
stuff.
that was the vibe. I imagine that's also new. That's also old information for me.
Yeah.
The other thing is that whirring sound you heard when people started casting detect magic.
Mm-hmm.
You hear that literally like clockwork every 11 minutes.
Oh, it's okay.
It's absolutely constant. Yeah,
What else?
or every 9 minutes, I should say.
There are other sources of magic within the library as well. Like
Yeah,
kind of
but
just like
no new information in
Yep.
terms of.
I
is the
I have 3 items on me.
Yeah. There are 3 things on. Is the raven magic?
No,
Okay. Oh yeah.
for this class specifically, not.
No. Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. I think that's correct. And anyway,
It won't
shall
comment
go.
at all on realizing that.
So, walking through the twigs, I need you to roll a d20. Somebody, one person, sorry. On a 1 to 10, you will have an encounter.
I'll do it.
Go for it.
You can use your inspiration of this if you decide you don't want to encounter.
Will it matter what number we roll if it does go bad?
That was a 5.
See, I want the encounters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do an encounter.
But is a 10 good and a 1 real bad?
No.
Okay, cool.
There's a separate roll for that.
Does doing a 1 to 10 mean that we then have to do a second roll to show what's happening? No?
As you're walking along through the 4th ring, as you're kind of like moving through streets, trying to kind of stay out of the trouble, you kind of like, or there's a few times where you kind of like, you see a group of people on the side of the streets as you're walking through. These are dirty streets, by the way, and there are row houses basically. Really dangerous places to be if you're in a fire, because fire just shoots down those things so fast that you can't even imagine. But as you're going along, you see a small group of tree wrights and a few gatherers busily inspecting a building, looking up to where some of them are pointing. You see a float fruit has fallen into the roof of a building and like crushed it a little bit.
What is a
float fruit?
What is
so
that?
It is the large fruits that is the main source of food within Arbor. A single piece about this big will feed a person for a whole day.
So it's like a truck-sized goodberry.
Yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah, that's good boy.
Yeah.
Am I remembering correctly?
James and the Giant Peach style.
Yeah.
Am I remembering correctly that the tree is able to provide enough food for everybody?
Yes.
Yes.
Despite this, there are still people starving.
I mean,
That's capitalism.
Hey!
Misery.
Into the roof of the building.
Not in character.
Yeah. I'll wait till Rich gets back.
Sure.
God, I'm laughing. Of course it's not a character.
Jesus.
was it tree rights? Did you say?
Yes.
Encounter.
Yep.
I'm really pleased with how scuzzy I managed to make the tiles there.
Very good.
It's also got, Mike, if you look under the hood, some of the best detail work I've ever done.
Do you want to grab my mini down, Joe?
Yeah, of course.
I don't know where's you at. There you
Ooh, okay.
are. Have to get the torch out.
Yeah,
Yep,
well,
another
I'm in
hunched
shadow
cloaked
over here.
figure.
So.
Much like yours.
We can be siblings.
Do you mind if I also apply the torch?
Go for it.
That's cool.
So, as you are kind of like walking by, you're kind of trying to stay out, and you overhearing a conversation, you hear them discussing how best to remove the fruit and maintain as much of the integrity of the building as possible. The gatherers, for their part, seem to not be giving a shit about the integrity of a building,
Yeah.
whereas on the other side, the tree rights are like, no, if it collapses, it will take the other buildings with it, which will kill more workers, which will mean we won't be able to do more work, which means you will have less float fruit. And they go, we need to get float fruit. Fuck all those people in it.
Can we see the owners of the house?
They're standing outside because when it hit, because when float fruits fall, because this is a common enough occurrence that you'll have seen it, they fall just before they're about to hit the ground, because you imagine the tree is miles and miles up. It releases a massive gout of steam to slow their fall. They are deliberately, almost designed, you would say, to not shatter things below them.
But it is landed on an already fragile structure, which is then bowed in.
The weight of it is kind of like started to crumple. This basically a row house, and essentially, if you think about like the row house sitting in the middle, if this thing falls, the other buildings, because every house within the row house is load bearing to the other row houses next to it, so they'll all collapse inwards.
Query: will we offer assistance?
Is anyone feeling particularly strong?
I think you can see that the pupil's head has fixated on the owners and is now, regardless of where they move, just sort of tracking like this.
Whereas the black figure is looking very intently at the gatherer that was saying, fuck these people. And from seemingly nowhere, the black figure now has a long blackened piece of wood in her hands, and she's just tapping it against her thigh.
What's the size of this fruit?
About the size of this room.
Yeah.
It is humongous. They're giant creations.
Is it landed on a property that's on the end?
So it's in the middle, like imagine like a bunch of houses, like terrace properties.
Yeah.
Except only a single floor. Row houses were a terribly designed construction of horrible things. Everything in this setting, horrible.
Yeah.
So
I think you hear a different gear system kick into gear within the pupil. Like the cogs are still ticking, but it's a different speed and timbre, and there's some other spell being cast. Or there's some other mechanism going.
you also start to hear the guys, if we just let the building collapse, then the building will keep the fruit safe, and then we don't need to do anything. It's fine. And the tree rats are like, the fuck? Just get a crane. They're like, we're not getting a crane down here. We're in the twigs. No one's going to come down here. And it's like, there's this conversation going back to
I'm rolling wisdom saving throws, by the way.
Could you not add like inside, if you added several planks of wood of some description, you could then roll it off and they would be load bearing enough that
the two tree rats look over at you and like, we'll do what he did. Yeah, that's yeah, that's an yeah. Are you an apprentice or something, or what's going on here?
Oh no, just I just have lived in these parts and.
Are you?
Yes.
Kind of look at you for a second. Nah, no.
Yeah.
I'm going to go over to the owners.
Sure.
This must be very difficult for you.
Oh yeah, you know. I mean,
I don't. Please tell me.
it.
I rolled persuasion.
Yeah, sure.
Still a 12.
They kind of
I rolled a lot above a 12.
They kind of look. It's like a dad, and he's kind of like looking at this photo, like realizing that like.
I have been commanded to assist.
Oh.
It is good to talk about these things.
It looks like your friend's gonna do some. It's gonna. There's the tree rats are here. That I don't know why they're here out here of all places, but something about Dahlia or some woman who.
Query: who is Dahlia?
Dahlia Darknell. She's head of the tree rats. Makes them come out here all the time. I'm sorry, are you an artifact? I've never seen one up close.
It is an observer.
Oh.
This form is an artifact.
You're Oh, you sound like... Are you Dahlia's? Are you owned by Dahlia?
I am not owned by Dahlia.
Artifacts. Here.
Yes. We really should be...
The kids are like kind of looking at you, and they're like kind of pulling on your little cloaky things, like doing that thing that kids do, and they want to say something, but they don't have the words for it yet.
Yeah. Information. I have been instructed that children respond well to being given small gifts, and I'll go in and pull out like copper pieces,
Okay.
or whatever the equivalent is, and then just hand them one each.
Yeah. They look at it as they've never been given a whole seed before. Like that's the currency, that's the lowest currency, because for them that's what their dad gets paid in.
Yeah.
And they look at
And then I turn back to the dad and say, "Query, please tell me about how it feels to possibly lose your house."
Well,
I'm having some mixed emotions at the moment about you just giving my children more money than I make in a week, and now you. I don't have the language to understand exactly what I'm supposed to say to ye. Bad. I feel bad that my house is destroyed, but you've been very kind, so I'm trying to be kind in response. And the tree rats are putting some sticks on the walls to pull the fruits so my house don't get destroyed. You're a lot.
I think there is an almost, it's not gratitude, it is almost like the cessation, it's more like the cessation of pain than gratitude. But for anyone who was watching this closely, just the word bad was absolutely enough and exactly what Pupil was waiting to hear. Thank you for your time, and I'll give him another copper piece. Yeah,
a seed. Yeah,
I do have starting money, I believe.
Yeah,
Cool.
You're fine. You're fine.
And I don't need to eat, so it's fine.
Yeah. And they kind of like turns to the two kids and that is a strange thing. We're eating well tonight, kids. And they take your suggestion, and they're like, yeah, that would. They're like, do you want to be a tree rat? I mean, my master. I mean, he can get you in. We can get you started up. We can get you. I mean, the Darknells are really good people. I mean, they like Dahlia gives so much to everyone here. I mean, she makes us some money, but a lot of us are from here as well. So well, her brothers, actually. Dolly's kind of weird. Like, really weird.
Yeah, not really. My medicine's more my thing.
Well, thank you for the suggestion. You seem to have like a knack for it or natural talent. We'll get started. And looks at the gatherers. Told you we could do this, and you'll get your float fruit, and it won't get damaged, and it'll be fine. And they grumble, but they're annoyed, but they're like, all right, fine. And yeah. They eventually, if you stick around to watch this process, they eventually build up the things. They create this kind of ramp to roll it down. The gatherers annoyed. Now they have to get on a roof, push this thing down very carefully. Once they do so, they bring in a truck to pick it up, and a lot more gatherers show up at that point because once it's off the roof, it's vulnerable. But they get it all loaded up, and it gets
vulnerable to damage or theft. Cool. Yeah,
that's what
I thought so. I just needed to check.
The two that were sent out here, because it's like two of them, were sent out here to verify its location and where the state was. When they actually go to collect it, there are a lot more, and they are armed.
It's like armored car drivers going to a bank.
Is it considered property at this point?
It is considered property when it hits the ground. It's property of the city. The city then distributes it to the Omaris Industries, which then cut it up and turn it into various things, and then gets distributed to the city.
Miss Omaris Food Production Factories, Third Ring, Second Rush.
That's the one.
When you say when it hits the ground, does
Yeah.
that mean if it hit a building and the building didn't collapse, the people in the building would own it?
Maybe, depending on who, if they could bribe enough people or make it secret quickly enough.
Or if they could defend their claim to it.
Yeah.
I'm not interested in you right now. We'll get to you.
So with that encounter done, you make your way further, and you eventually make your way to the kennel.
The wheel starts to spin again at the detect magic speed.
I should probably give you a name to call me. Just so that we are not as conspicuous as we could be. Call me Monica.
And
You are Monica.
Monica is my Monica. Aha.
yes,
Tell jokes this one.
I'm sure that'll help us keep
Mary,
a.
would you like me to tell a joke?
Yes, please.
Oh, good lord.
And the glee in my eyes.
I'm trying to think of okay, yeah, it will be like this is probably something is part of the artifacts programming. It being like a butler, because what do you call a man with a shovel on his head?
I don't know.
Doug.
Amazing. You know more?
I do.
Good.
No, sorry, it does.
Good.
At any moment, if Joe ever slips up and uses first-person pronouns at any moment, that is a Joe slip-up. It will never ever refer to itself as anything other than it.
Good.
Would you be opposed to having a pseudonym for the artifacts so that we can refer to it easily and without drawing undue attention to it?
It is incorrect to give it a designation. However, other members of the Arbiters of Memory have given it pseudo-designations.
I mean, we're calling it a pupil.
It is a pupil. It is an observer.
Yes.
Given that you've got detect magic continuously going, when I laughed at your joke, you got a tiny bit of enchantment magic. Oh.
Oh yeah, because you have to,
No, it's more the. Brad appears to be on fire.
Brad's always like, have you looked at the man? The man's on fire, come on.
yeah, when that blackened stick came out, you did see
Shillelagh?
It didn't get cast,
But itchy trigger fingers.
but you saw the flickerings of some transmutation magic, possibly about to go through that.
Oh, that smells lovely.
Fresh rain. Because it is raining currently. As you make your way across the city, and you eventually come to what, meeting outside what looks like an old school, you see a large, rough-looking woman coming towards you wearing a dog collar. She's easily over 6 feet tall with green skin, huge tusks, and black hair that's shaved on both sides.
So what I'm hearing is money.
There's definitely like, fuck. Besides the collar, she's wearing workman's clothing, and hanging from her belt are a set of huge brass knuckles. Under her arm, she's carrying a small brown wrapped package. This is what she looks like. Cool. She goes, alright. Looks at you all. You're a bit weird, so I'm guessing you're the people looking for the job, right?
Query, are you Mad Molly?
That's me.
Then
Yes. You can assume that.
That's what.
Good. I need you to do 2 things for me. 1, you're going to take this package, don't open it, and you're going to take it to the address on the package. Leave it there, and then go away. Do it at night. You understand? Easy enough.
I assume that we would rather not be seen delivering the package.
That's a good assumption.
I don't have fingerprints.
What is the?
He does not have fingerprints.
Fingerprints. Are fingerprints used? Oh, fuck, I don't
So Professor, Detective Inspector Frederick Aberline, who was the lead investigator on the Jack the Ripper murders, was one of the first people to use fingerprints. So yes, absolutely era appropriate.
Yes. Cool. I'm just not sure. That was like it's on the edge.
What is the address? Second drink. Ah,
Query, what does the package contain?
You don't even know. It's
If we
not
get
important
caught,
for you.
should it be destroyed?
She goes, if you get caught,
Open the package.
If you get caught, yeet the package at them and run the other way.
I'd rather not anyone find that package, so yeah, destroy it.
will opening the package do the destroying for us?
No.
Ah.
Does
You need to
detect magic ping anything off of this?
Oh, 1,000,000 fucking times, yes. This thing is glowing.
Do I get any kind of
evocation magic?
Do I get any kind of affinity? Do I feel any kind of affinity to it? Just vibes based.
No vibes, base. Not gonna give you vibes.
Nah, that's
Hard rules only here.
that's fair. Like if I had detect magic, I
I
would be
protect
looking.
Joe, no vibes.
So you can sorry?
I protect Joe, no vibes.
Oh yeah, at one point I asked for a DC. I asked for a difficulty check of something, and I just said, instead of getting a number, I said, no, it's just vibes based. And Joe nearly stroked out.
This package doesn't have a name of a person on it.
No. Just the location. That'll be enough. Once you get there, you'll know what to do. Leave it there.
Is this address the address for the one of the larger?
Make a history check.
Cocked.
I wish I had knowledge.
13. You can make that a skill, my guy.
I could, but then I'd have that extra skill, and that's extra skill points to put into something, and that's extra something you can do instead.
10.
10.
13.
None of you have enough good knowledge of specific addresses to know anything like that, or specific targets.
It's not one. It's not an address that is relevant to my.
Not to your creation, no.
Cool. Okay.
So
That's what I was wondering because these guys don't get on with the Iron Hands.
Yeah, so there's an assumption that this might be going somewhere bad.
But it's not like the distribution center I came from.
Yeah, cool.
Hey,
They want you to have a chance of success. That place would be well protected.
Query, what is the second task?
Ah, yes. Right. Hold on. The other option is, the other job I need you to take care of because I need you to do both. I need you to go find, there's a security officer been taking some bribes. We need him taken care of.
Query, define taken care of.
Do you know what taken care of is?
Yeah, I believe
I mean, there are various degrees, right? You might have a warning. You might want a bit of
No,
rough
I want
tumble. You might also just want to.
The Iron Dogs need him
Gone.
no longer.
Alive.
Yeah.
Query, you wish him to be murdered?
I mean, I don't want to say it out loud, but yeah.
Is this one of your security guys that's taking the bribes?
No.
Where this security guy? Where would we?
You ask a lot of questions for people who are going to kill people for money.
No.
Query,
no,
information,
where-
yes. It asks a lot of questions.
This is more to find him.
Yeah. Where?
Right. I have an address.
Okay. Yes.
Could we have the address, please?
And to clarify, it's private. We're not attacking a green cloak. This is private security.
No private security.
Yes.
Second ring, first branch, Filter Street.
Sorry.
Number 5.
Query, is this a business or personal address?
Personal.
Query, does this person have family?
Yes.
Query,
Does that matter?
I think it makes it happy.
All right.
query, should there be witnesses?
Ideally, no.
Yes.
Information, thank you.
Kind of like this thing.
Sorry. Second ring, first street. Did you say?
First branch, Filter Street.
Yeah, first branch, Filter Street, number 5.
Okay. And sorry to be rather gauche, but these jobs, the what would the payment be?
The information you require.
Perfect.
And if you do both, 100 leaves thrown your way. And, well, you'll have the Iron Dogs and will look favorably the next time you need some help.
Lovely.
Query, the weapons at your waist. What was the last time you used them?
About 2 hours ago. I was in the pit fights.
Query, what happened?
Knocked the guy's jaw off.
Query, what did it feel like?
Kind of good. I get off on punching people.
Information, thank you.
He's direct. Oh, he's an artifact. Damn it. She
Information.
didn't notice. She's like, oh, okay.
Information, it is not a he.
Oh. It's an artifact.
Information, correct.
Oh, well.
Roughly, what's the time now?
Early morning.
Early morning. Okay. What's the sort of journey time to the second branch if we were to walk?
Second ring.
Second ring.
Second ring.
If you were to walk, actually, no, it wouldn't be early morning. It would be like because you walked from the library.
Because we met in the morning and then walked 2
Yeah.
hours to get here, so midday-ish.
Like midday-ish. So by the time you get there, it'll be about the right time to leave a package,
Perfect. Should we walk? Because
and then you can go on over to the security officer because they're right near each other.
yeah, and then go visit the Green Blokes.
Mhm.
Do the crime before talking to the police.
Yeah.
It's better than carrying what at best case is a bomb.
Right. We in agreement then?
Terms are acceptable.
Yes.
Cool. Right. See you later then.
Cool. Right.
It will wait a little while until we are sort of, if we get into a bit of the street where we are unheard, or if we stop anywhere we're unheard. Information, it is capable of remotely delivering the package.
And how?
Information, certain parts of its construction were inlaid with some magical abilities. It was a custom model for Lord Colborne. Mechanically, I've got Unseen Servant,
Yeah.
and I can, if we put a cloak on an Unseen Servant and give it the package, it can just go and put it at a door.
So
What was the law's name that you said?
Lord Colborne.
Or have we ever heard of that name?
Oh, I'm not cop.
Make a history check.
22.
15.
22, I think. Minor noble. Not.
It was like first ring, but not canopy.
Yeah.
But was it for the Iron Hands?
No.
Oh, okay. Oh.
No. The artifacts are sold to people who have wealth. Effectively, they are. What's the equivalent?
Status symbols.
Yeah, they are.
It's like a Ferrari.
It is like a Ferrari in some ways. Yeah.
I'm assuming, given that they are technically objects, it's acceptable for them to have magic.
Yes, because they are. It's assumed
It is
that
not a person.
the object itself is casting magic, therefore is a magic item. So it's a very strange, weird thing. Artifacts gets a pass in a lot of weird, different ways.
That's what I'm counting on. Remember, you can't be guilty of a crime if you're evidence.
Oh, before you leave, Molly goes, oh, right, needs to go inside the building. That's important.
What
That package needs to go inside the building.
At which place in the building? Query, at which place in the building?
Just go, sorry, roll me an insight check, everyone.
Natural 20.
Cool.
Natural 19. 24.
You get the feeling she doesn't want to tell you exactly where, in case you decide last minute, no, I'm not doing this. But she kind of goes, all right, fuck it. Next to the big glowing thing inside, you'll know what it is when you get there. Will be pretty obvious.
Well, should we travel to the second ring? You drop it off, and we go pay the security guard.
You can roll me a d20 for the random encounter, please.
Mike, do you want
I did the first one, so.
Oh, wait, hold on. 12.
No random encounter then. You walk out there, and the other.
The entire Arbor map is in the rectangular cardboard tube behind the bridge. It's the one.
This one.
No, the rectangular one.
Does anyone attempt to open the package on the way?
No, I want to see what happens when I open it for real.
You can open it for real if you want.
No, sorry. I want to see what happens when someone opens it for real.
I mean, you can open it.
I have zero intention of opening something that I expect will.
I'm glad I made a thing that is so. You're so like, that is definitely a bomb without even seeing anything inside of it.
Yeah.
That's the one, yeah. You got it.
Because not all bombs explode.
That's true.
However, I am intensely curious about what the components of this bomb are.
Okay.
And artifacts, pupil, whatever. You like to watch things, right?
Information. It does not like anything.
Okay, you do watch things.
Information. I observe.
Can you observe remotely?
Information. Yes.
What do you need to be able to observe remotely?
Information. The ability to pass an item to the person to be observed.
Does it have to be a person?
Information. No.
I can observe it if you want.
I want to see what happens when that goes off.
Could your unseen servant remain hidden somewhere and watch whoever opens the package?
Information. I cannot view through the creation summoned by the unseen servant spell.
I can provide that service if you'd like.
Can you show me?
No.
I'm going to check the text of ability real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
Make me an intelligence check.
Who?
11. Is that?
You think when they're talking about like what it does when it explodes, you have a niggling of a thought, and then it kind of just goes away. You're like, there's something there. If I could just pull at that idea just a little bit more, I might get somewhere.
Right, this is assuming that it explodes, but
Well,
if it does explode, then I'm very interested in it and in the aftermath of said explosion.
so they hinted at a big glowy thing. do other buildings within this place have similar glowing things?
Let's say you're there now. Approaching the Iron Hands refinery at night, the great big chimneys are no longer belching thick smoke, and the only light comes from the low embers of the forges and the occasional flicker of discarded lantern. The huge red brick 3-story building has a large door on one side, and you see several large windows but no other obvious ways in. Large rails gouged into the cobblestone lead up to the building, and around the side you see empty metal carts meant to haul ore in and process materials away. There are lots of residential buildings around this place. Lots and lots and lots. It is very jam-packed.
Information. No, sorry. Query. Would you like it to deliver the device?
Before you do, I want to know if this explodes, and it could not, it could just shut down everything by pulling all the energy from elsewhere into it, or it could cancel out whatever. I'm just interested in, if it explodes, how it does it, and if there are certain patterns within the explosion.
Could I attempt to work out, using my Adept Mage on the package and Arcana in some variety, what like the blast radius of this thing would be if it went up next to something like an arcane furnace or whatever the thing is we're blowing up?
Can I add? Did you say? Sorry, Observer. You have detect magic.
I am able to perceive magic. It is able to perceive magic.
Without being able to see the actual device itself, whatever's inside of it, the only thing you know is that it is a magical object that is emanating evocation magic.
How much? Okay, so
So
this package right here.
I have a theory.
How much give is there in there?
So
There's enough give.
You can open
If
it
I
you
were,
want.
I'm not going to open it. If I were to, for example, vomit forth a small eye and place it under the paper of the package, could I see what was in there?
All you would see is a like a little box, like a paper box.
Okay, so there's a box inside the package.
Is there such a spell? And
I hope so.
Within the evocation branch that creates an endothermic reaction.
Make an Arcana check.
Because I'm thinking it doesn't
Natural
explode.
20? Yes, I can cast it.
yeah. There are several spells.
That's a natural one, so I haven't got a clue. But
Information.
I guess it would be
Yes.
Do the Iron Dogs have a reputation for bombing?
Oh fuck yes.
Okay, right.
They have a reputation for blowing up all kinds of shit. Yeah.
And how much collateral?
Though they've never blown up a refinery before. This is maybe they've gotten hold of something, and the thing is that dynamite is relatively new. If they got hold of some, it'd be rare and weird.
But are they known for collateral damage, or are they very targeted in their attacks?
Depends.
Okay.
So it varies a little.
Is there...
And there are a lot of buildings nearby. If they got it wrong...
Is there a way of telling if this, whether it be a bomb or not, without opening it, if it contains dust, like using detect magic, and that's capital D dust?
It wouldn't be possible unless you saw it specifically. If it contains dust, it would be real bad.
So,
I'm aware.
tell you what, chaps. Well, how about I sneak in there, open it up. If I'm sure there's no collateral damage, then I'll leave it there. If not, I'll bring it back out.
If you are sure in the sneaking and opening, it's not going to go off when you open it.
Information. The Iron Dogs will be displeased. Information. We require the information that they have.
Information. They are not the only ones who have that information.
Displeased in what sense? Sorry.
Iron-
What if we didn't place the package?
Correct.
As you're kind of sitting out here near the refinery, you do see two guards who are posted up near the entrance to the building.
Yep.
They're just standing there. They're not even. They don't seem to have clocked you, and they don't seem to be really engrossed. They mostly seem to be arguing with each other. It's a kind of rotund, short woman and a kind of very, very tall, skinny man.
Yes, it's the best pairing. Can we try and overhear what they're saying?
Sure. Sure. Let me just get you
Ooh, daddy!
what they look like.
20
first.
Eldritch.
Ooh. You hear and see these two.
Oh no, they have names.
But now we can't kill them.
Every NPC has a name.
We can!
You mostly hear them arguing like an old married couple. And you get...
Well, now if we kill one of them, we have to kill the other.
And
it would be cruel to let one of them survive.
What's your passive insight?
My passive insight?
Yeah.
Oh, God. My insight's not so good. Not very touchy-feely as a person. Or lack of person. Passive insight is 14 still.
So 14. You think they are married.
Yep.
You think they're very much like a couple that have been out here for a long time, and they just seem to be arguing about a dog.
Is there a fire break between...
No.
Okay, so it's a very crowded kind of...
This is an era of very loose safety.
I am aware of that. Specifically, as we're in the second ring, I wondered if that might be factored into the architecture.
You think this building is old. You think this because of the way that Arbor was built, it's like some of the buildings were necessary for their construction, like refineries back in the early days. They needed to stay there, and they just stayed there, and then the city built around them, kind of thing. So those things.
Okay, I have another question then.
Sure.
Do I know if the Iron Hands have a contract with the Union?
They do. So there will be a plaque. You'll see it on the side of the building that has Red Union insured on the side of it, and that's the thing that all the Red Union members did use to find out. Hey, I need to actually save this fucking building. Around them, one of the buildings does. Most of the buildings don't. Red Union insurance is expensive.
Yeah, I'm aware. I read the Red Union stuff.
If you don't have the plaque, Chief, then we're headed back, Chief.
I mean, if we could steal that.
I'm not even making this shit up. I'm just pulling from history.
No, I know.
That's the fucked up shit.
I like it.
Yeah.
I whisper to
This
Raven,
shirtwaist,
"Do you
it
mind
appears to be in the shape of a
checking
triangle.
this out?" And I'll send the Raven to just fly over, take a look.
So on the top of the refinery is a big glass entrance. How close does it get?
I will tell it to circle around it once. If it doesn't spot anything that's threatened as a threat to it can land on the roof and have a look.
So it doesn't see
Or
anything on
shoot
the
a
roof.
window.
When it lands on the roof and looks down into the refinery itself, the refinery is quite big. Make a perception check with your Raven. If you want to use inspiration, now is the
Oh, I do have an inspiration. Yeah.
What's the context for inspiration in this game? Will we get it refreshed?
You'll get it quite often. I'm quite lenient with it.
That is 15.
15. Your Raven looks down to the bottom of the refinery and sees a bloodbath down there at the bottom. There are bodies. It can't see specifics, but it sees body parts and strewn apart blood everywhere.
So they want us to cover up something they've done.
It sees a light coming from the overseer's office, which is on the second floor, so you can see down. It sees a light coming through. You can't see much else from the angle where the roof is.
It appears that we're here to cover up a crime. There's a whole bunch of bodies down there.
Query, what is the crime? Yeah, I think it's already asking before you finish that sentence.
Dead bodies, blood, massacre, that kind of thing. But so the glow came from the office. So do we get the impression it's not part of the machinery of this refinery?
No, there is a secondary glows. There's a secondary because even when you have even when you turn everything off for the night, you don't turn off furnaces because they'll.
You don't want to cool.
Yeah. So there is at the very bottom there's still the furnace in its low embers.
But if someone was to say to me, put this by the glowy thing,
they don't mean the office, they mean the other thing.
Sorry, they don't mean the office, they mean the furnace.
They mean the furnace. Because
it could be a light on in the office, but the furnace is the actual.
Make me a Arcana check as well.
Bad. 8. No, 7.
7. The one thing your Raven does notice, the furnace is running.
Can it spot anyone, even like one person?
Nowhere near. You see bodies. You got a 15 perception, right? There is a blood trail that goes from like the furnace and then goes to the back underneath the office into a place that you can't see from the top. So maybe somebody survived, but you're not sure.
Is there an indication of how they died? Is it like, are these like, am I looking at two factions that have fought each other, or is it one like
You
set
need
up,
to
is it
be-
just the work?
You need to be closer to see what
Okay.
exactly. You need to be like in there. Dude, your Raven could get in. There are several open windows.
Yeah.
Make me a
I'll-
stealth check then.
I'd ask it to.
Yeah, make a stealth check.
Throwing this dice away. That is an 8.
8. So it makes its way in. When you can see through its eyes, can't you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You see, there's a specific description for this.
At this point, now that it's alone, I imagine it would be muttering to itself as well.
You see the refinery is a scene of carnage. The bodies of workers and guards are scattered around the place, the blood pooling on the floor. Broken machinery and scattered tools add to the chaos. It was clear that this was no ordinary robbery or raid, this was a massacre. The bodies of the workers appear to have been partially pulled into the floor. And if that was not enough to kill these poor souls, someone has come along and slit their throats afterwards.
Partially pulled, as in melded into the floor.
Like, somebody, like, they felt like quicksand they fell in.
My
Do you
first thought was
relate
out of
that?
line.
Yeah. Information. The dossier from the Arbiters of Memory described that the... we'll give this bit.
Mm-hmm.
Despite its small size, it has substantial weight with an unrelenting downward pull defying its dimensions.
You can make an Arcana check. Anyone can make an Arcana. Well, if he relays that information, and
Yeah,
make an
yeah,
Arcana.
23.
Yeah.
3.
6.
Yep, 6 as well.
You did so well. Your first roll was a 20. Why are you sucking there?
It's the dice tower. I've never done the dice tower.
What?
9.
No, okay. So it's just pupil. You know that there is a particular group of assassins that operate in this way. They usually work for the Davy lamps, which are the paired.
They don't like the Iron Hands.
No.
They're big rivals of the Iron Hands.
Yes.
So, the question I would then have is this massacre related to the bombing, or was it just is it just coincidence that two people wanted to fuck these guys up at the same time? Query. Your companion, the avian, is it capable of carrying messages?
Yes.
Suggestion. Send a message to Mad Molly and see if this... Brain.
Oh,
go.
you mean remote messages?
I mean carry a letter to her.
Oh, carry. Okay.
And
yeah,
say,
okay.
like, hey, this place has been fucked up in the stabby Davy lamp kind of way.
Yeah.
Are we still to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would do that.
But, like, put that in some kind of thieves' canty code if anyone's a rogue.
No.
Oh, you said you were sneaky. Is the only reason I wanted.
No.
But yeah,
I'm not sure we should send a message at all. We have a job to do, and we want to get what we're trying to get out of it.
satisfactory.
So,
I guess this is probably. I should have asked this earlier. How comfortable are you guys with murder? And collateral damage in general. That's probably a starter question that we probably should ask before we left. But and now we've got a bomb. But
you've got a package.
I've got
let's be
to see
honest.
that go off.
That's not what I asked.
It truly does not understand the question. In the words of a Discovery Channel executive hearing about a bounty hunter for the first time, tell me more about this dog.
Dog?
The one the guards are arguing about.
Oh, they're... so the man, who you don't know the name of, but his name's Eustace, goes, that stupid dog, stupid dog, always doing the weird things. And then the other one, Ethel, goes, I love the little pink dog, he's my friend.
So she is the dog lover of the two.
She is the dog lover of the two. He hates the dog.
Okay. I'm just thinking of the particular distraction techniques one could employ. I am certain that the pupil will have observed hideous animal abuse at some point. Because fear isn't just for humans.
It's true.
How far is it from the entrance where these two are guarding to where the massacre is?
Oh, they're right outside the door. Like, there's a door, and then the massacre's just on
They
the...
have to be aware of that.
No, they're not. They haven't gone inside. They're here to guard the outside of the building, and they've never gone in.
With my raven looking at the door from the inside, I will cast Minor Illusion to make the sound of a dog barking.
From inside?
Inside.
Okay. So...
You're already ahead of me.
yeah, so so she looks, he goes, and there's a dog trap. And then she just goes and throws the doors open, looks inside, and screams. And then he looks inside next, and just like has this shocked look on his face of, and just grabs her and runs. They both run. They don't know what happened, but they were, and you hear her say, but there was a, and she's not our problem, not our fucking problem, and just runs.
Yeah.
And they just disappear into the night.
Well, if we're going to deliver
Job done, we should move fast.
Information. It is time to deliver the package if we are going to.
Yes, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Run in.
Guess we'll give that to you.
No?
No? Do we keep hold of this?
You roll that, bro.
Okay.
No, we haven't actually delivered it yet. We've still got to get in there.
Yeah, they're in there.
And, I'll throw a stone. Oop.
You might want to...
I'll roll this like a spanner.
Spanners are very difficult to roll.
That's why it's not such a bad job.
There you are.
Before we head in, I will roll up my sleeve, and you'll see a vine wrapped around my arm with 2 leaves on it.
What is it with you and plants?
I'll pick one off.
Yeah.
It immediately petrifies.
Mm.
And
Oh, as in turns to stone petrifies?
Yeah.
Neat.
I'll take it and I'll stick that underneath the string of the parcel.
Monica, query.
Monica pulls out the black stick.
You wish to be able to remotely view the results of this explosion.
Yes.
I am able to it is able to facilitate this. Raylan. And then while not removing eye contact with you, the little grill it has that the speaker is behind just sort of opens up and it goes and like a glistening eyeball, like with a little bit of trailing optic nerve and just bloody and bloodshot, appears in its hands. Please have your familiar place this on the rooftop.
Sure. Yes. Okay. Okay. I'm not touching that thing. Do you want to come and...
It's like,
Sorry, can't help you.
Just place it in the remote corner.
Place it down with very reverent and gentle care. Just place it down in a corner where it would. I'm going to try and do it in like one of the houses, like a little nook, like a gap in the brickwork or something, but just so the pupil is facing out towards the factory.
So the black.
It will work if I'm within 10 miles of it. Cool. But I have to choose to activate it once I know something has happened.
right.
So I'm going to wait for this to... Well, yeah, I'll wait to hear an explosion, basically, and then immediately activate it as an action, and I can go into a trance for a minute.
The black stick suddenly has lines of red.
Like a dying fire.
Just emanating from the hand, going through the stick, glowing brilliantly, and then fade, and then a bit of smoke coming out from it, and then it fades back to nothing.
That's you, yeah.
Darkness again. That's me. Yeah.
Is your eyeball considered a magic item?
No.
Okay.
It's a part of my body. And that was Joe saying that.
For what it's worth, the leaf is.
A magic item, cool, interesting.
Okay, so that's ticking.
Wait, what?
Let's fucking go!
There is a ticking sound, so
The ticking sound is coming from the box.
Okay. Can we?
So as I will describe, nothing will happen as long as I'm describing things, okay? As you enter the refinery, you hear very little save for the soft hum of the boilers still on their lowest settings. As you enter, the ticking started. Your eyes adjust to the darkness, and you see that the refinery is a scene of carnage. The bodies of workers and guards scattered around the space, their blood pooling into the floor. Broken machinery and scattered tools add to the chaos. So, as you enter, you, with that the 23 Arcana check from earlier, whoever did this wanted to make it look like it was done by the Davy lamps, but the magical signature is slightly wrong.
I will keep that information entirely to myself.
Sure.
And then, yeah, let's put the...
Well, I wanted some clarification of some sort of repeat of something you said earlier. You said that there was a second glow coming from an office.
So you come in the room, as you look up and to straight ahead, there is an office ahead, and now from this angle you can see there is definitely somebody in there.
There's someone in there right now.
You can see them rummaging papers and moving things around, looking for something.
How much is that weigh? It's less than £5, isn't it?
Because I can't make it...
You can't
What's
make it
inside-
weigh like, yeah.
Well, I can, but I can't make it weigh what it actually is.
You'd have to use like plasticine, not actual dynamite.
Plastique.
My favourite X-Men.
I think it's probably more than £5. I think what's inside there is more than £5.
Okay.
You can open it and find out.
No, I have no intention of opening it. All I want to do is move it over there. But...
You're gonna have to pick it up and take it there.
Oh, in that case, I'll do that then.
Okay. Somebody move the token. If you want to move together, if you want to have 3 people by myself, that's perfectly fine.
So
I noticed that we've only got 3 players here,
25th one.
and there is also the player token.
Not. No, you're there.
22 on stealth to move through this place sneakily.
Ah, there you go. We're just hidden.
Also worthy of note that the artifacts, the pupil, is only about like 3.5 feet tall.
Oh, he's really small.
Yeah,
Man.
I'm a small creature.
You like playing little guys.
I'm a fucked up little guy. Just a fucked up little guy.
Oh, God.
Are you able to tell us how long we have?
Information. No.
I take it the ticking isn't like increasing in intensity.
So, how far away is the foundry?
Oh, I'm just moving over there with the
Yeah.
package. I'm just going there.
Where is it that we're placing it? Just there.
So that would be, that's the main refinery. Pupil, can you give me a...
Dare you to say charisma save?
No. Either an Arcana or investigation check.
Yes, I can, but I'm gonna use my inspiration on that. Oh, that was worse. 14.
14. That is actually enough. And you, Raylan, and Monica have passive perception of 15. Cool. That's important to know. So.
That was investigation for me because it's a +5 rather than a +4.
I have also stealth at this point with a dirty 20 on stealth. If you're taking the package and running...
Oh, I'm not running, I'm walking very calmly.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to step back
In the most
outside
unnerving
and
way
keep an eye out.
Mm. Very much that which is not that which is not dead cannot die.
So I think we don't. The camera account doesn't actually have ownership rights to Rich's token.
Ah, that's the problem.
Something special.
Be the badger.
Also, my character has dark vision.
Does it?
Yeah, 60 feet of dark vision.
That's not what he's supposed to have.
Do I?
Where are you?
I do have dark vision. That makes sense to me.
No, I mean I'm
Yeah,
supposed to have dark vision, but my token doesn't.
No.
The only people who have dark vision are shadow touched.
Oh, okay.
So does that also go for
People, yeah.
people? Okay.
So I don't think any token has dark vision.
I have dark vision.
Do you?
Yep.
Let me see.
Because it's a class feature?
Yes.
Ah, for a class feature, that's different. So you can see more. We will give you dark vision. 60 feet?
Yeah.
Cool. You now have dark vision. That did not do what I thought it would do.
Let me double check.
It gave you light.
It is a racial creature. A racial feature.
Ah, then no, you do not get dark vision.
I also can't select the player's
Player token.
token.
But specifically not the Furborg racial feature, it's the other racial feature.
Ooh.
The yeah.
That might give you dark
Mine is a lineage.
Ah, it says mine.
No, nothing that would be racially specific gives you a dark vision. The only thing that gives you dark vision is if you are shadow touch specifically.
Cool.
Unless you get it from a class feature, which is like
So shadow sorcerer, that kind of thing.
yeah, that kind of stuff.
Cool.
I should have read the rules closer. Because one of the things about fire genocide, genasi, is that they have dark vision, but specifically it's in shades of red
Yeah.
as opposed to grey.
That's fun.
So I was
way,
thinking,
what
infrared
people would
vision.
have done is walked up there, placed the bomb down, and then started to walk away and leave this building.
Okay.
Unless instructed to do anything else.
So 15 passive perception, people.
Yep.
As you're kind of standing here, sitting here, just kind of like waiting for people to go there and come back.
I'm not waiting.
You notice that the furnace, not that thing there. So there's a furnace and there's a boiler, work in pairs. The boiler looks to be overheating.
Does it look like it was overheating before we got in here?
Yes. And it is with a 15. You need to do a bit more. You notice something's wrong with it at the moment.
If I wanted to get to the room above, what is the quickest, most efficient route to do so?
So from your location, you can see that there is. Well, you can't really see much because it's very dark in here. If you go a little further forward, you probably be able to see a bit more.
I'd do that.
You'll have to move yourself because I can't.
The weird thing is, according to the thing, you should be able to. I don't know why.
I can't.
Move as a
I
cursor?
can't even select it. Like I can hover over it and it gets a. But then when
Are you able to remove the
I can select myself.
map as a whole?
I can select.
Try now. Try that token.
Oop, hang on, Rich.
No, sorry. Switched.
No, can't select it at all.
Very odd. Very odd indeed.
Curious or incurious, said Alice.
Where's the stupid button that says left click will make me go?
Alice Cooper, the client. Not.
Yeah.
Not the venomous poison.
Sometimes a random name generator.
I
you
know,
wobbly.
buddy. And again, players will do that to literally anyone, regardless of whether they've got a real name or not, so I wouldn't worry.
Yeah. Show us who says great.
I hope this time spent working with tokens won't take away from our countdown.
It doesn't. You're fine. I haven't started. You're okay. Just calm.
Yeah, the real problem is going to in the start when we get.
Right. So you make your way forward. As you make your way forward, the carnage continues forward. It gets worse and worse and worse as you kind of go forward. It's like this is really really bad. as you get closer to the boiler, you see a trail of blood that leads out from behind the boiler, and it appears as though someone has dragged themselves around the corner and into the back storage room. The doors are ajar, and the trail leads further inwards.
Do I see that being further in?
Where are you? So can somebody click that token?
Or is that you?
That's me.
Oh, in that case, I'll...
Can you click me, Ryan?
Oh, yeah, I
Oh,
can
you
move
have.
Joe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I see the trail of blood? I can't see where it is on the map. But
You need to go
Is it
further
that?
forward.
Or through the crates, or
Yeah.
you mean to more this way?
that way or that way?
Left. This way.
Yeah.
He would be away from me.
Yeah.
And then eventually you go into pure darkness because you don't have any sight.
And
And then
I will.
you begin to see this trail of blood that kind of goes around the corner and behind the walls.
Oh, I can't actually move south at that point. Kind of.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
As you go past the boiler, you notice that with a DC 15,
Yeah.
passive perception. Why is a... That's weird. Still
How do I get up that way?
No, don't.
Okay.
But we'll do it this way. Do it live. The players to go. The furnace has been tampered with. Its controls have been adjusted such that to increase its temperatures beyond safe levels. If the issue is not fixed, the excess heat being pushed to the boiler will cause the boiler to explode.
So herein is my question. Would that amplify the effects of a bomb?
If this boiler explodes, make an Arcana check.
I'd love to. Natural 1.
I'm not in there.
Okay. So you're just like waiting, kind of like watching what's going to happen. You can make an Arcana check as well.
Is it Arcana? 16.
16. You think that if this thing goes off, it will take out every building within 2 square blocks. There are about 40, 50 people who will die as a result of this boiler explosion. Boiler explosions are serious fucking business. And this thing is huge.
We should probably limit the amount of casualties we're going to cause here.
Query. Why?
It will increase our notoriety, which means it will make it easier for other people to catch us.
I think, though, based on the time that we have left and what's about to happen, we may have to stop here.
Very good.
Because you have to leave at 10:30, right? Yeah. So we have to stop here. A boiler on the verge of explosions and a timer. One that you know is ticking and one you don't know when will run out. And that's it.
Very good.
Do you wanna
Just push. Which one?
This black square.
Black square.
I like ending it